Oh shit, there's a tick on it right there.
Fuck it up.
I don't want to smash your car, man.
Welcome back to SVG Tapes. Thank you for wanting to check out my Speed 3. We're going to get through all the mods we have in it over the past 2 years or so. I picked it up in November 2019 before I went to UTI, Universal Technical Institute, not UTI, with Jake and Colton. Jesus.
Yeah. Were you working on it consecutively for those years?
No, so yeah, the first year that I had it, I'd say, I didn't really do much to it. The first year was at UTI and I just dailied it because I needed to keep it reliable and safe. Because you know, even with just a 4-cylinder turbo, at most 4-cylinder turbos, they get very unreliable the more it you go on. So I dailied it for like a year, and then come soon, close to graduation, probably halfway through the year, we started putting mods on it, and I got into my first mod. It was the Korksport Stage 2 Power Series intake. And I got an exhaust soon after that. And at the same time, I also got the access port and just ran off the shelf maps because they're not good, but when you first start out just with an intake and nothing really else on the car, you don't need to do much. Get a really aftermarket tune, like a Pro Tune. Before we hop under the hood, make sure to like, comment anything you want to see us do. Any more build breakdowns, we got the Subaru WRX, Corey's IS300, and his Evo. Comment any questions you have on the car, anything we got done under the hood when you see it. Make sure to subscribe for more content, more banger content.
For the month of June, we are making some light camo SVG trucker hats in canvas. Dark camo SVG trucker hat. We also have trucker hats with foam fronts right here in like gray and black. And we also have SVG dad hats. You don't have to be a dad to wear a dad hat. That's it, man. If you guys want gear, don't forget to comment on our YouTube, comment down below, or hit us up at 7 Valleys Garage on Instagram. Let's get into the video.
So what exhaust did I get? I didn't really get an exhaust done when I got my first exhaust. It's like everybody else when I got my first car. I was like 17. I think I was 18 or 19 when I got this, I don't know. But I was young, I didn't have a lot of money, so I did a muffler delete and a resonator delete. You just cut the mufflers out, and it was technically like a straight pipe from the cat back. And it was freaking loud, but it sounded good. It really did. But that sounded good, and I got 2 black tips. The first tip setup, I've been through a couple. And then I got my first downpipe, which is an ATP long tube catless downpipe. I threw that in with the muffler delete pipe, and then I got giant blast pipes. So it was a full straight pipe exhaust. It was so loud. It was so loud. Before I did my ATP downpipe, I did my high pressure fuel pump internals, and you gotta do that first, like even maybe before your intake. It really to save your motor. The stock high pressure fuel pump internals are not good from factory. And then I did my blow off valve, I believe. I got my first blow off valve, which was a tile bypass valve. Forget what the actual model was, but it was recirculated so the tube would go back to my intake. Better for reliability wise. And then after you do like good things, like I got 3 mods done, intake, exhaust, blow bypass valve, it'd be a good idea to get a Pro Tune. So I decided which tuner to go with. You got like Freak Tune, Purple Drink Tuning, Nishan, but local to me was Purple Drink Tuning, like down there in Bel Air. So I actually went to him in person and we got a street tune done on the car. The first tune, which was just those things, the exhaust intake, still top mount intercooler and blow off valve, bypass valve, and the internals. And it made pretty good power, it's reliable, it's fun. Everybody wants to shoot flames, so I wanted to shoot flames, so the best tuner for that would be Stratified, and I got their aggressive pop tune. was a blast, honestly. I was still in my stock turbo, the KO4, and within 5,000 miles, I'd say, or like 3 or 4 or 5 months, that thing blew up. Doing a 6-gear pull going like 110 down the highway, let out, and I didn't have the pop tune on, and it just started backfiring. And I was like, that's not right. It was funny because that was when we were at school and we had all the boys drove by on the same highway, and they actually all turned around and stopped and chilled with us.
Wait.
Oh shit, we got a twofer.
But so that means it's new turbo time. So I went bigger turbo a little bit. I got the B&R S3. This is the next stage of the car. Got the B&R S3. I got the 3-inch intake, the HTP 3-inch intake. And actually at that time when I was getting tuned, my tuner said I needed a MAF sensor. The car's got 65,000 miles on it and I needed a MAF sensor because the readings were wrong, so I got a new sensor. Them things were like 250 bucks, ridiculous. New turbo, B&R S3, and we had to get a new tune. And to do that, I was like, well, I might as well just get a bigger top mount intercooler because I know I'm going to need some cooling to go along with that bigger turbo. So I got the Cpe Top Mount Intercooler, the version 2, I believe. They've been through a couple versions of them. And I got a full Cpe exhaust, actually. I needed to go 3-inch exhaust because I did cut out the mufflers, but the piping was still 2.75 or 2.25, whatever stock is. So I go with the whole Cpe exhaust. I guess sold my downpipe and got a Cpe downpipe, Cpe Triton exhaust to match it. Though, and I got retuned by PD tuning. Didn't go with stratified again because didn't really want to blow up again or hurt anything further. So I went with PD tuning. Spools around 4K with the B&R S3 and holds power all the way up through redline. That's the main difference with the S3 compared to the KO4 or any stock turbo. They fall off up top when you start tuning them. But my S3 pulls up until like, it redlines at 7,800 now. It pulls all the way up to 7,800. It won't stop. I did break the stock little plastic nipples off the boost controller. That often happens. So I got a Corksport 3-port boost controller when I got my new turbo as well. And I was pushing the max limits of the MAP sensor. The MAP sensor stock one tops out at 20 PSI, I think, and I was right at 20 at that time. Then that sat on that tune for a good while, and then I had some cooling issues, and I really wanted to go external wastegate. I've seen so many videos of it, and I just wanted to flutter, so I tried it out. I got Jacob's tile 44 from his S2000. He had a big 44. Now he's got 238s. But I got his 44 on here now. That's awesome. That's when I'm with the V3 of the car. I got the wastegate. I got the Cpe manifold to match the whole exhaust system. Just a little 1.75-inch exit pipe dump out the hood. I love my hood dump. I wouldn't change it for the world. I was going to do a fender dump, but it's a lot more work and lining up, and then my whole side of my car would be black and carried just my hood and my windshield, which it does get black, by the way. We went with the hood dump with the external wastegate, full race car. We got the front mount intercooler, built it up. I kind of pieced together a kit. I did the Mishimoto M-Line Core CX Racing Gen 1 intercooler piping. Forgot to mention, before we got to version 3 of the car, I did get a dyno tune when I got my Cpe Top Mount Intercooler and the bigger intake on the B&R S3. It made 300 wheel, but it was heat soaking awfully. The boost air temps from the Top Mount Intercooler, for this Top Mount Intercooler. I had my hood scoop too, but it didn't help that much. The exhaust manifold would just bellow smoke right up into the intercooler so bad. Boost air temps were at like 190 on the dyno, even though he had so many fans on him. He just couldn't do it. He only did like 2 runs, and they said he couldn't even tune it because it was just not safe for that high of temps. He had to retard the timing like 3 degrees total, and it was just super down on power. I shouldn't have gone this far into the build without doing the mounts, but they really help with torque steer and the vibrations. They make it just feel a lot more sturdy and together. You feel like you're driving a well-built car. We got the Corksport passenger motor mount, the JBR transmission motor mount, and the Cpe Stage 2 rear motor mount. The Stage 2 replaces both brackets of the motor mount. I'd recommend doing both compared to just the one, because it's like making half of the sandwich. So the next revision of the car, we got a port and polished intake manifold from Kurtz Racing. Got the exhaust manifold, got the front mount intercooler, hood dump out the hood, tile 44mm wastegate, Got everything done, kind of just did it all at once. Believe it to be around 360 wheel. Got some runs in with the 5M Mustang and like an RS and stuff in an earlier video on our channel in Mexico. Now let's get into the exterior and the suspension of the car. I believe first we went with lowering springs, H&R, yeah, just H&R lowering springs to start with the stock wheels. And then I actually ended up getting these, the ESR SR06 wheels in 18 by 9.5 plus 22 offset, I believe. Wrapped in the Azenis RT660 tires. I really thought they would hook. I've been through 2 different types of radials, Dunlop radials. And then on the rear, we just got all seasons, Continental all seasons. Also in the same spec, the 18 by 9.5 plus 22. And those wheels fit great. You do have to put some camber into them in the rear before, if you want to go lower. So like I did the Godspeed Mono SS coilovers, the pink ones. It was like a budget thing. I'm probably gonna put BCs on it eventually, but it doesn't need that right now, being we're not tracking it, as well as wanting to do the Corksport or white line sway bars front and rear in the future. And to fit the wheels with the coilovers, you need to get Corksport camber arms, which go like plus or minus negative 6 degrees camber, which you do need to do. I have them maxed out at negative 6 degrees of camber. That is really the only way I found to fit the wheels. I tried rolling the fenders and it didn't really like it, so I did not roll them that much, but I did roll the lip back. I folded the lip back. But it fits really well. They don't scrape or rub anywhere. Moving on, I had some leftover black vinyl from my Mazda 3 build. We did the roof black in that build, so we decided to go with the black roof on this one again. You just have to pull up the little trailing, the roof rack lines on it, and then wrap the whole thing black. We really think it ties in the aero look of the car and everything about it. And Brandon actually helped me wrap that. He is now doing wrap jobs, so if you want to see wrap tutorials or anything like that, make sure to leave it in the comments. We know how to tint windows, and we can sit on sun strips. We can show you guys how to do all that. Just make sure to hit us in the comments so we know to do it. The aero of the car next, I did the Aeroflow. Well, I've been through a couple of splitters. At first I did a Project M splitter. We have an install of the Aeroflow V2 splitter on our channel, but I do have the Project M canards that I threw on, and it looks a lot more aggressive with the black intercooler and the grill delete, because you can't fit the grill in there with the intercooler. And I got headlights around the same time, custom built headlights. I'm not sure of the brand because they are different than stock, but I bought them second hand and I put the lenses in them and sealed them up. And those are great. I love the way they look. And then we move on to our side skirts. Got the Aeroflow V2 side skirts with the little extension. And they honestly get pretty banged up, especially because the radials stick out a little bit, flicking up all the rocks. They get a little toasted, but it completes the look of the car so much, especially having it straight Aeroflow. Everything, it really does flow very well. Jumping into the interior of the car, there's not much done. We have the Energy Prism seats on the way. They've been taking their grand time, Rally Sport Direct, but I'm sure it's just with shipping and COVID things. But to start, I mean, we just got some slaps. We got SVG slaps. If you want to pick up slap stickers, they're your style, throw them on your drift car. We got a lot of them available. More coming out almost every month, like with the drops. Hit us up on Instagram, DM us. Real easy to ship out, real cheap. Laminated, weatherproof. I did mount my access port kind of nice. A lot of people find that interesting. We got it mounted right in the middle there. With radials, dude, it makes your steering so heavy, by the way. But yeah, we got the access port mounted right in the middle. It is just Velcro, people. It's just Velcro. Billet Works shift knob does the job great. It feels nice. It's the piston in the purple. Did do a bamboo trunk. We had some extra bamboo lying around when we did a renovation, so I threw a bamboo trunk in it. It's really not that hard. But then sitting on top of it, we got the Kicker Comp R 12-inch subwoofer with I think a Boss amp on the back, 1100 watt RMS amp. That thing thumps.
Oh hell yeah.
More content like the Speed. If you like the Mazda, convince us to keep it. Make sure you subscribe to SVG Tapes. Get your sticker on the back like that. Love to see the name going around on more cars.